Morning. Yeah, let's make it Capital Preservation Friday. How about that? CP CPF. CPF. Excellent. All right. We'll wait here a few minutes here. I do have the risk disclosure ups for your viewing pleasure. um we'll get started here. Just giving some folks here a chance to join us. And we'll get started in about 5 past. Okay, so 8:35 Eastern. Morning, Frizu. How are you? I'm not sure exactly what happened to crude oil today, but it fell out of bed. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. A little early in the morning, but I'm good. Morning, Larry. Good morning, Sapadia. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes, guys. I do have the risk disclosure up. NQ just made the value area play. Just close inside value and rotate it all the way through. Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened to crude oil. Crude oil has taken a dive here. I don't know. I don't know why. It seems like with all the again, this is why we don't trade fundamentals, right? So, um, with all the global potential tensions that we have in the world, you would expect that oil will remain strong. But I guess something else has been contributing to that. I'm sure. So, yeah, almost dropped 3%. I like I said, I don't really understand it. I'm trying to figure out exactly what news event would cause a drop like that. Someone feeling that we have a surplus, or maybe there's not as much demand, which I find odd. Maybe with the advent of all these electric cars, I'm not sure. It's weird. So again, that's why we don't trade the fundamentals. We trade the charts, right? Because if we come in with our biases into the market, we think long, and we find out that's not the case. So. All right, so we're 5 past the hour, guys. So we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Ray, the market trader. Okay, and I'm here not in any sort of investment advisory capacity. I'm the information that I'm about to provide you is to be treated as general information only. Okay, none of the information provided by the market trader or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We all understand that future trading does carry a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor, and we should only be using risk capital money that we can otherwise afford to lose and without compromising one's financial security. Again, nothing contained here is a solicitation to offer buy, sell, futures, options, or Forex. And past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. So now that I've gone through the risk disclosure, the next order of business for me is to take a look at the news Okay, so we're going to take a look at the news and see what we can we gather here. Okay, um, so housing came in under forecast as far as new construction. Building permits for new construction also came in lower. Right, we have some Michigan sentiment coming in, inflation reports coming in at 10 a.m. today. Okay. And then we have Goolsby speaking on a couple of instances today. I'm sure speaking, or actually, everybody's going to be on bated breath to understand if there's going to be any sort of relaxation of interest rates. Okay, we have the European expiration of options that have exposure to futures. That's the 10 a.m. So that should be automatically on your checklist there. Okay, that's a daily event. All right. So news wise, I would say relatively light. I think the building and housing already in the market is beneficial, right? We get that all in early in the session rather than, have the market kind of wait until a particular news event is out before it, moves the way it would normally move. Okay. All right. So let's look at the markets here, guys. We're going to go ahead and open up the charts here. We're going to go ahead and open up the gold market to start with. As I mentioned, crude oil has taken a bit of a dive here from 78 down to around the 676 level here. Okay, so it looks like it's come into some 4-hour demand here on the right. So let's start off with the gold market. Let's remove our drawings, okay, and all our indicators. Okay. And what we're really trying to get understand, and we'll start with the daily chart, is what is the market trying to accomplish here? Okay. Well, you can see here we're on the precipice of potentially breaking a rather important level in the Dow. Okay. Not Dow, sorry, in the gold. All right. We're up at supply zones, supply levels. Okay. You see the wicks here. We've sold away from this level in the past. But as you can see, each attempt that we've come to this level has been met with less, selling resources. Right. At some point, the sellers are going to capitulate, and you can see the charts, Arun. Hopefully, you can. Everybody can see the charts, correct? Yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. So as I was saying, okay, uh, the every time we've come to these levels, all right, we had an initial reaction, a smaller reaction, and yet another smaller reaction. Okay, so this is kind of, building up momentum. Okay, for further upside in the gold market. Okay, the sellers are running out of resources to take this market back down. Okay, so where can this market go? All right, well, again, we're looking at this on the daily. We're just going to take a peek here, but what I use to kind of give me a forecast of these kinds of things is the Fibonacci extension tool, right? So I take something like this, I take a low, I take a recent high, and I take a pullback, and I say, okay, well, Fibonacci is telling us that we can reach pretty close to 2,600 in this market, all right, based on the measurement of this swing here, right? I'm not saying that that's going to happen today. Okay, what I'm saying is that this over the course of maybe a couple of weeks, okay, that we have 2558 very much in our sight path, okay, very much in the horizon for the gold, right? Based on some math here, okay. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. We'll go ahead and remove these forecasts and these drawings here. Okay, they just kind of helped us here to kind of arrive at our view on the daily chart. Okay, so again, looking at these swings of late here, right? We've made higher highs and higher lows in this market, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So what's the view? Well, the view is further upside in this market. Right now, the only thing that we should be guarded against is the fact that we are coming into an area where we've had prior selling. Okay, so the fact that we've had an area where we've had prior selling, well, chances are we could at least get some reaction away from this area. Right, this area in particular, 2520. You can see how many times we've come to this area, right, and sold away from it. Okay, but as I mentioned on the daily chart, eventually it will break. Okay, eventually it will break. Right now, it's acting as resistance, but this 2520 level for me is a level that we should keep an eye on. All right, keep an eye on, and maybe even to set an alert for. Okay, because if we break this level to the upside, we would be well on our path to head up to 2600 in the gold. Okay. All right. So that's what we're seeing on the 4-hour chart. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. Okay. So there's our resistance level that I've drawn here in the gold market. Okay. So we're right up against an area of supply. All right. Now we're getting a little bit of a reaction here. All right. This is an area of supply right around this 25.15, 25.10 level here. We have 25.20 just above us here. And you can see that we've had some selling here in the past. Now, so let's go ahead and let's see, find my spreadsheet here. Locate my spreadsheet for my levels. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add my levels to this market here. Okay, so here are the levels that will be tracking in the gold market. Okay, so we'll add some of these to the charts just to confirm them. Okay, so we're right up against ADR very early in the session. Okay, when we're up against one of these levels so early in the session, that's an indication. That's an indication for me that we could be in store for a potential sustained auction to the upside. Okay, so sustained auction to the upside, right? That's kind of what when I look at these. Okay, so especially when they reach them so early in the session. If it happens sometime during the session, I'm more inclined to look at it as a potential area of reversal. Although with that said, we're starting to see a candle here that could potentially be the beginnings of maybe a potential, 3-bar reversal pattern. Okay, we're up against a very nice level there. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw in our fixed range volume profile. And you guys know, for those who have attended these sessions in the past, we always look at the volume profile from the past close session. Okay, so we're going to take a look at Thursday, specify the range, and we're going to extend these lines, all right, to the right here. Okay, just to confirm that I've indeed captured the correct levels. So we have 24.9740. Okay, that's value area high. We have 2481.40. All right, I got it at 30, but it's close enough as value area low. And then we have 2493.70 as our point of control. I'm going to go ahead and draw that in as red. Okay. And let's see. Next thing, we already captured ADR high, so we're 2412. And then ADR low is coming in at 2476. Okay. So the only other thing, and this is one that's probably going to change here. All right. Once the New York session opens, we're just going to go ahead and capture London for now. All right. And London has 2409. Okay, which we already exceeded. Okay, 2409. Let's see, 2409. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that here, 2409. Okay, 2409.10 as our average session range high, again, which we've exceeded. And then on the bottom end, we have 2475.80. 2475.80. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at now. As far as hypos, well, as we've heard and as we've discussed, we're starting to see, we have quite a few buyers in this market. Okay, since the close of the market, we've had nothing but buying. Okay, generally buying in this market in gold. Okay, we had Asia session was higher, the London session was higher. Okay, a lot of buying, buying in this market. Okay, so what to make of it? Well, like I said, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my little anchored VWAP here. All right. And this is going to be my tracker. This is kind of my trade tracker. If I'm going to look for a bullish opportunity, well, I'm going to look at this anchored VWAP and provide an area for me to participate in a potential move to the upside. I don't like participating right at the top. Okay. Now I do that. Say for something when I have something initiative, say through value area high or initial balance high, something to that effect. But if I'm looking at anything, beyond that, I'm always looking for some sort of pullback. Okay, I'm looking for some sort of pullback back to a level of some kind. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why my initial balance is being drawn. Okay, let's open that up. Oh, it's set to Tokyo. Okay, we're set to New York. All right, so here's our initial balance range. Okay, quite narrow, right? Very, very narrow range. The more narrow the range, the more likely we are to see some sort of initiative price action, right? It's almost at a level, right, where you could say, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to, take along at current levels and put my stop below initial balance range, right? This is not, $450 worth of risk, okay? Maybe $500 worth of risk, but that would be a reasonable, initial balance is our litmus test on direction. Okay, so if it continues to push higher, well, having a stop below this initial balance range, that would be kind of a reasonable location for it to, I guess, invalidate your view, right? The question is obviously, on a mini contract, that would be kind of maybe a higher stop loss than we were willing to take. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to be looking for some sort of bullish areas where I can manage my risk. Okay. The top of this ASR zone, ASR high during London. Okay. Would be an area where, 2509 would be an excellent area if price were to come back down to it for me for a long. Okay. In the market. That also would coincide with IB low, right? But the question is whether the market is going to give that to us or not. Otherwise, what I'm going to be looking for is some sort of break of initial balance, wherever it ends up becoming, and then I'll be looking at IB high as an area or reference level for a potential long trade. Okay. Now we had talked about this 2520 level, which we're rapidly coming to. That could potentially be resistant. Okay. We've seen that this level has produced some bearish reactions in the past. Okay, if we do get the indications of that, maybe there is a little bit of a pullback here. Okay, if it breaks this level with some momentum to the upside, you can see that we are volume is increasing as price goes up, so indicating that there is support in this move. Right, price is not moving without volume. Right, price is moving with volume, indicating that market participants are aligned with this current move. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. I think that's checking to see if maybe we have any questions. But right now, like I said, I'm going to be looking for areas in the market to participate in a potential long trade in the gold. Okay. Anchor VWAP. Yeah, this is the anchor VWAP right here. I got it at the lows right here. This is the anchor VWAP. This area in light blue is the anchored VWAP. Okay, so given that it's bullish behavior, I'm looking at some of the pivots, lows where we've had some consistent, right? So this is at the open of London here. We had a very strong push. So my anchor VWAP is at that location. All right. Okay. I think that's pretty much what I have for the gold market. Again, I'm coming into the market, I guess, somewhat bullish, right? We're breaking some levels to the upside, and not, we're not respecting any of them, right? We've smashed through ASR high, we smashed through ADR high, right? So where is it? 25, yeah, 24, 2509 ASR. Yeah, no, this is 2509 is the average session range high, Frizu. 2475 is the average session range low. So I think I'm good. Okay. All right. All right. So okay. So let's take a look. It looks like we're continuing to break higher here, guys. Anyway, let's move on to the crude oil market, which is the surprise for me. All right. Again, so we've come into an area, right, where we have some demand. Let's go ahead and remove some of these drawings. I'm always experimenting with indicators that will maybe support my efforts in establishing levels, supply and demand being one of them. So let's go ahead and turn off some of these indicators. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and open up the daily chart. Okay, this is the surprise for me, right? We had broken some levels here to the upside, and I was, I'm sure a lot of people, including myself, were thinking that this market was going to head higher. Okay, on the contrary, we've come back and started to retest this area of the break, right now to the tick. You see how it kind of stalled here? Yeah, has kind of stalled here, right? So if price manages to close back inside this channel here, say below 75 or 75.33, then we could continue to the downside in this market. Okay. Right now, looking at it from a daily chart, I can see that really what we've done is come back to the area where we initially made the break, right? We are testing the conviction of this buyer here. Okay, is that buyer going to step in again at these prices, 75.54, 75.52? Okay, because we did break some structure to the upside, but it was not met with any sort of momentum to the upside. It actually this level that was supportive, okay, was supportive, is now become resistant. So this 80 level, around 80, we've seen a reaction away. Okay, prices come down as a result. Okay. So yeah, daily chart is looking a bit bearish. I would say that if we do get back inside, or if price should close back inside, then that would confirm it a bit for me. The fact that I'm seeing a little bit of buying here, I see this buying wick, maybe gives me indication that maybe somebody was trying to get a little bit better price in oil before they wanted to take a further higher, right? Because again, this could, based on the daily, this could merely be just a pullback, right? And if that's the case, then again, going back to my Fibonacci extension tool, again, this is developing candle here, guys. So don't want you to read into this too much, right? But if I do one of these numbers, then basically Fibonacci is telling us that we have a chance of getting back to the highs in this market. Okay, so this may be just a pullback of this current move, but we still have a developing candle here. So I wouldn't read into that all too much. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart. Here we are. We've come back again to this level. This looks like a little bit of a corrective kind of pattern here. We've come and notice where price is stalled. Okay. We don't make these things up, guys. This is kind of what we see every day. Where did price stall? Well, it stalled at a prior area of consolidation. Okay, that's where it stalled. It didn't stall at any random location. It found an area where there was fair price. This was the last area, fair price. Okay, and now it's stalled. Now the question is, in this 4-hour chart, is this going to develop some sort of reversal candle, or is it going to continue in its path? That's the question. Okay. But yeah, it's starting to develop some bearish structure. Okay. So you can see here, right? If we were to draw a channel, right, this would have been a nice entry here on Wednesday, right? If I was trading in the 4-hour chart, this would have been a nice area for a short, but I don't trade on the 4-hour. I trade on the 15 and the 30 minute. So we'll have to kind of continue moving down and see if we can find a location that's aligned with that. All right. So let's remove some of the drawings. I get really kind of stir crazy when my charts get too busy. All right. It's hard for me to kind of digest what the market is trying to tell me. All right. So let's go ahead and add our levels here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add the crude oil chart levels that we're going to be tracking in today's market. All right. So here are our levels. Okay. Okay. All right. So first things first, I'm going to add my ADR levels. There's my ADR. ADR has been exceeded to the downside. Initial balance is about to open. It just did. So we'll go ahead and add that. Open. All right. There's our initial balance open. I'm going to modify that because I was looking at Tokyo. All right. So we'll go ahead and open up New York. All right. There's our initial balance range for New York. All right. This is, I don't know why it's so wide. Let's see. We just opened New York, 9 o'clock. That's odd that I would have a 76 here. It looks like it's picking up 530. I'm not sure why. Okay. Anyway, it should really only be looking at this candle. Okay. We'll see if that sorts itself out here. This is still very much developing. I'm going to take one last peek here to see what could potentially be causing this. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything here that could cause this. So again, I'm not a believer of this IB low, guys. This candle is at 5:30 and the market opens at 6 a.m. So yeah, right now for me the range would be 76.36 and 76.58. That's the range that I'm looking at, IB range for crude oil at the moment. All right, so let's go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. Let's go ahead and locate the 9 a.m. bar, okay, from Thursday, and close it. All right, so here's our range, very small range, okay. So on the high side, we have 78.37, okay. On the low side, we have 77.91. Value area low is 77.91. All right, so we're going to modify that here a little bit. So 77.91 is value area low. And let's go ahead. We've already got our ADR levels. We're going to go ahead and open up our ASR. We're going to modify that for now to London. Okay, because, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, London. Okay. We'll wait for the equity markets to open, and then that should adjust this sum. Okay. So again, we have ASR and ADR being exceeded to the downside. All right. Now it seems to have found some sort of level. I suspect it's probably a 4-hour zone or something along those lines where it's found some support. Okay. In this market, right? Given the amount of selling, I'm kind of inclined to draw my anchored VWAP at the top of the market here, right around London. Okay. So if this bearish trend is to continue, I would not expect price to get above this anchored VWAP. Okay, so I'm kind of using London. All right, the London session, because we do have a fair number of sellers in this market, right? We're developing an anchored VWAP based on London, right? And if they are indeed in control of this market, the view is that price will not close above this anchor VWAP, and if it does, then it starts to open up the door, maybe up to 76.88, which is the bottom end of these, both the ASR low and the ADR low. Okay, which again could serve and also daily VWAP. So there's a lot of confluence here at 76.88 that could offer us a continuation trade. All right, continuation trade to the downside. Okay, something like this. All right, that's kind of what I'm looking at in the crude oil, given the amount of selling that we see. Now, if we do get above, let's say we get above this anchor VWAP, we get above this daily VWAP, then we start maybe opening up the door to get back to these highs here of the session, back here at 78. Okay, but I need to see some evidence of that. I need price to break some structure to the upside. Okay, because right now we have a fair number of sellers in this market. All right, let's go ahead and make these areas visible here. Rolled. Oh, okay. So we went from the U to the V. Okay. Maybe this is rollover. Maybe this sell-off was a result of rollover. Maybe that's what's caused this move lower. Okay. So let me see. I'm just gonna, now that you've mentioned that, I'm gonna see on bar chart to see. Might have to change these levels, guys. Might need to move to the V contract here. Let's see. Bar chart. Okay, I'm just checking to see the volume. All right, in the crude oil, which contract is generating the most volume. All right, so let's see, crude oil, V. Yeah, I would say yeah, V is the choice here. So we'll need to revisit these numbers here, guys, with the V contract. Okay. All right. So let me see. Yeah. So the V contract is indeed, yeah, this was caused because of rollover. Okay. I'm assuming that this was caused because of rollover. All right. So, so we're gonna have to regenerate some of these numbers, guys, on the V contract. So we'll start with the ADR. Okay. So we have 77.54 is our average daily range high. Okay. All right. And then yes, I mean, we need to move to the to those contracts, no doubt. Okay. So let's so I'm just yes. So I'm in the process of adjusting my numbers here to the V contract here, guys. So again, we're going to go ahead and locate, let's see, the 6 o'clock bar here, or 9 o'clock bar, sorry. And then that's our value range. Okay, so we have value area high here at 77.20. Okay, so we're going to add 77.20 to this, right? So we have 77.20 as our value area high. Okay, and then let's see, our point of control is 77.15. Point of control is 77.15. Point of control 77.15. Our settlement price is 76.99 is our settlement. Okay, and then let's see, our value area low is coming in at 76.76 is our value area low. Okay, and then what's our average daily range low here? Average daily range low is coming in at 75.79. 75.79 is our average daily range low. Okay, and then for now, this may change on us. Okay, oh, that's not the right number. The right number, average daily range, is 77.83. Sorry, 77.83 is our average daily range high. Okay, what I provided you was the average session range. Okay, high, and that's the 75.79's average session range low. But I suspect that this might change once the New York session opens. Okay. So let's see here. We have the low here at 75.79. So to me, it seems like we have average session range low and average daily range low at the same levels. Okay. But as I mentioned, I suspect that this will change once we get into the open of the New York session. Okay. Really, the only thing that's missing here is actually, I'm not going to move that, I'm afraid. Let's see. Yeah, really the only thing that's left is the 4-hour zones here. Okay, so let's see if I can make sense of where a 4-hour zone would be. So we have a 4-hour zone here at 75.17. Okay, so 75.17 is a 4-hour demand. 75.17 is a 4-hour demand area. Okay, and then let's see what would be to the top side. I'm going to say 77.58. Okay, 77.58 is our 77.58 is our 4-hour supply. Okay. All right. So these are the new numbers for the V contract. Okay. We'll go ahead and move back to our 30-minute chart and talk through a couple of hypos, and then we'll quickly move into the the demand is 75.17. That's what I have. Okay. So these are the numbers that I'll be tracking for the crude oil market. All right. So what are some hypos? Well, right now price is below value, and this maybe as a result of a rollover. Okay, that caused this move down. Okay. So assuming we get price to, let's say we're going to go ahead and add our anchored VWAP again. Okay, so here's our anchored VWAP right here. All right. So if price can stay below anchored VWAP, I would say that we have a reasonable chance for price to continue lower. If we start to break above anchor VWAP, above daily VWAP, above this ASR and ADR low, then we could rotate all the way up to the top of the market here, or top of the session, or top of the day in price. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at, and maybe the outside possibility of getting right up to the ADR and ASR highs. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at in the crude oil market, guys. I do apologize. I had these numbers here for the U contract. We're gonna have to update my levels here for. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put all of these in bold and then make that the V contract. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the equity markets, because I know there's a fair number of you that trade them in opening range, which is not my cup of tea, especially in the Nasdaq market. That seems to be too much of roulette for me. So I stay away. All right. So first things first is I look at the daily chart. Okay. So I'm going to look at the daily chart and get a sense for what the market is trying to accomplish here. Okay. Hopefully, Alejandro, I answered your demand question in the crude oil market. Okay. So here we are. Okay. Now I've been starting to use this supply and demand tool, okay, by Lux Algo. All right, just to kind of support me in arriving at my. It creates supply and demand levels based on the visible range. Okay, so again, if you struggle in establishing these demand and supply zones, too much lagging. Okay, excellent. So in any case, this is something you might want to consider. Okay, I'm experimenting with it. Still not something I'm taking. I'm obviously validating, but nonetheless, it is. I'm starting to add it to my charts. Okay. All right. So what to make of this market? Well, if we look at this market, it is trying to head higher. Okay. We've had a series of candles that with higher highs and higher lows. Now we have come into an area, okay, 19,600, okay, that could be resistant. All right. We could see that we get price, kind of continuing this range that is established, right? Down, up. Now we're maybe due for a down. Okay. So we'll have to see how this plays out over the next few days. For our chart. Okay. So for our chart, looks like we have a little bit of a rounding top. Notice that the supply demand visible range has identified a supply zone here. Okay. Based on prior price action. Okay, so we are in an area that could produce maybe not to the same extent, but maybe enough here to take us back down to say I don't know, 19,200 maybe. Okay, based on just a supply and demand from a supply and demand perspective. All right, looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart, we're making a little bit of a rounding kind of top here. Okay, this is I've gone ahead and drawn in my, this is off by one here. I'm going to draw, see, yeah, that's my volume range. As someone has mentioned already, we've already had a nice value area acceptance trade. Okay, now we are at a level, a reference level, where we could potentially get a reversal in price. Okay, we are 2 bars in to a potential 3-bar reversal back to the upside. All right. we're at a nice level that could produce a nice bullish trade in this market. All right. But what would I need? Well, I need to see some a break of structure to the upside in order for me to embrace it 100%. Okay, or at least make an attempt. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and find our levels that I've identified at the Nasdaq, and we'll go ahead and add them to the chart. Okay. So here we are. Here are my levels for the Nasdaq. All right. We'll just kind of double confirm some of these lines I have drawn here. Just remove this one and remove that one. And we'll add a line here. Okay, right about there. Okay, we'll make that blue. All right. And that level came in at 19,595. Exactly what I have, but we're off by a quarter tick. And then on the bottom, we had 19,481, which is in line. We're going to go ahead and open up ADR. ADR is well above us here at 19,812. 812, yeah, 812.50. So we'll modify that to 812.50. Okay, 812.50 is kind of what I have here. Okay, modify that. All right, and then average daily range low, we're down here at 19,327. So we're going to modify this as well, 19,327. Okay, 327.75. Okay, 327.75. Okay, and then average session range, I'm going to hold off. I think these levels are London levels, but we'll keep them. Now, the looks like the market is probably going to open up inside value here in the next 12 minutes. Okay. So that is, this is an indication that we might be in some sort of balance or range kind of price action today. Okay. Which would not be too big of a surprise since it is Friday. Okay. So let's see what other, yeah. So again, right now, up until this recent, kind of price action, we've been relatively bullish on the higher time frames. Okay. So now we're at an area. Okay. This value area low could provide us a location for a reversal in price. I say could. Okay. I need to see some price action to support that view. What do I mean by that? Well, I need to see candles close above this bearish channel, okay, in order for me to begin to think that maybe this market could head higher. All right. Let's see. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at the daily VWAP, the settlement price as areas for reversal and continuation to the downside. So again, I'm kind of inclined here to draw in my anchored VWAP, okay, at the top of the market here, right around the start of the London session, okay. So if this market is going to remain bearish, I should not see any close of price above either daily VWAP or anchor VWAP. Okay, simple as that, right? If it stays below these two anchor VWAP and daily VWAP, then I should expect that we will get some continuation trade to the downside. Okay. Otherwise, if I think that this value area low could be supportive, I have to temper my expectations. Okay, that it can only get price can only get back up to say settlement price, or maybe up to these anchor VWAPs or daily VWAPs, or maybe the top of value. Okay, that's kind of my view there. All right. Let's see if there's any questions on that. If not, then we're going to move on to the ES market, to the S&P. All right. I don't see any comments, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right. So we are going to go ahead and open up the S&P. All right. We're going to remove some of our levels here that I use. Okay. And again, open up the daily, ask myself the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, the market has tried to accomplish, further upside move. Okay. Similar area, that we were saying in the Nasdaq also applies. So I would say 5,600, okay, is an area of resistance in the S&P. All right, so I would say that this kind of the line in the sand. All right, for I would say 5,600. All right about there. Okay, that's going to be the area that I'm going to be focusing on. All right, if price manages to get above 5,600 with some momentum, then we could see some momentum in price to the upside. All right. Otherwise, my view is that it's going to reach this level and potentially come back down. Okay, and remain in this kind of range. All right. That's what I'm seeing on the daily chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart, we're close and near that level. Okay, we have a developing 4-hour candle. We are, according to this supply and demand visible range, we are up against a supply zone. Okay, which is not a surprise because I've also identified this as an area of resistance. Okay, so it does not surprise me that we have an area of supply that's been identified. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add our levels. Okay. So these are our levels here. Okay. Just add our levels. What is, yeah. So these are our price levels. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the 9 a.m. Let's actually move to the 30-minute chart. That would be helpful. So we'll move to the 30-minute chart. We'll stretch this out here a bit. See if I can find there it is. Okay. Okay. So again, similar to what we saw in the Nasdaq, we got a very nice value area acceptance trade. All right. Opportunity, I would say. Okay. Nice value area acceptance trade. We had a close inside value. And what did it do? It rotated through value. All right. That's one of the strategies that we use. Right. Okay. So that played to fruition. Unfortunately for me, that's not, that's kind of my sleep time. All right. I was asleep during this move. All right. So let's go ahead and open up ADR and we'll check some of our levels. We have ADR high coming in here at 56.18, which that's just what we have. We have average daily low coming in at 55.18, and that's what we have. We have value area high at 55.71, value area low coming in at 55.47. So we're all good there. All right. So again, kind of similar sentiment that I was saying earlier. If we do manage to close back inside value, we could see a rotation up to settlement price. Okay. Maybe back through value, maybe stay in the range for the rest of the day. Okay. If we do close below again, then we could see an extension all the way down to average daily range low. So it will depend, right, for me on how we close around this value area low level. In the next 4 or 5 minutes, do we close above it? Okay, above value area low, or do we close below it? If we close below it, then I would say that we have some evidence that we could be seeing some price to continue to move to the downside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the. Let's see if I can bring this back here, guys. Keeps wanting to hide. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the S&P. All right. So if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Dow. All right, we're going to move on to the Dow and close out our view of the markets with the Dow. All right. So let's go ahead and modify this. We'll make this a Dow chart. All right. So here we are, Dow chart. We're going to go ahead and open this up here. We're just going to capture some of these levels, maybe not to the same degree here. Again, we're going to remove some of these things. Let's see, what's this line? Remove that, and we will remove, actually, we'll keep that. Okay, we're going to start with the daily chart and ask ourselves a question. What is the market trying to accomplish? Well, up until recently, all right, we've been trying to head higher in this market. Now we've come into an area, right? We've come into an area of resistance. right? So, you know, if I were to draw this zone, okay, this would be a supply zone of some sort to me, all right? This area right above here, okay? If price is unable to close above or close inside this area, I have it in gray. Why? Because we really haven't rejected away from it. You're welcome. You're welcome, Frizu. Okay. We haven't really rejected away from it just yet, but I do see that we have sellers here. All right. So anywhere between 40,800 and 41,200 could be a potential area where we could see sellers step back into the market. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the daily. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, okay, we're starting to see kind of a little bit of a rounding top here. Okay, we have a series of candles that losing some strength. The sellers are starting to gain some strength. You can see here that the volume is increasing, right? You see that volume is increasing, right? And price is moving in that direction, right? So there could be some momentum behind this potential move that we're seeing in this market. But what do I need to see? Well, I need to see us start to break below some of these indications, right? So we have the anchored VWAP that was generated back in this candle here, right? Back on Thursday. Okay. This was kind of the open of the market or pre-market, right? And that's also one of our lows. So if price is going to maintain this kind of bullish tone, we wouldn't want to see price get below that level. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open up the daily, right? We have price already below the daily one, the daily VWAP. Okay. If this price closes below, then chances are we are going to revisit ADR. Okay. For sure. Okay. If we get below this, I would say that we have more than a reasonable chance of getting down to 40,403. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm going to go ahead and open up my, let's see, this is from what day? This is from Wednesday. See if I can use this one. Move this to Thursday. Right there. Okay. And it's not quite. We're going to extend this off to the close Thursday. And then we're going to move this over to the start of Thursday. Okay. So there's our value range. Okay. So similar area. Okay. So, if you still have some doubts about whether the Dow is a correlated market, well, I don't know, but I'm seeing that it pretty much behaves the same way as S&P and the Nasdaq, right? We were talking about a value area acceptance trade, okay, in the Dow. Well, I mean in the Nasdaq. Well, we got the exact same thing in the Dow, right? So now we got a little market is opened here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my initial balance range. We've gotten some reaction away from value area low, and now we're right almost immediately up to this daily VWAP. Okay. So what to make of this market? Well, right now in the middle of value, not really much to do for me here. I'm going to be patient and wait for this initial balance range to establish. And then once this initial balance range is established, I will decide what direction I want to take this market based on whatever extension I'm able to make in this market, right? So if I extend to the downside, I will be looking for a bearish trade. If I extend to the upside, I will be looking for a bullish trade. Simple as that. My initial balance range is going to be my barometer on what direction I want to take this market. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe so what happened to my. Okay. Well, we'll capture some of these numbers really quickly, guys. I don't know to what degree the folks here trade the Dow, but let's go ahead and add some of these levels here. We'll add them over here. Okay, so we have ADR high here coming in at 4105, 41,005. Okay, we have ADR low coming in at 40,406. Okay, we have value area, okay, coming in at, so we have 40, that's it. We have value area high at 40,703. We have value area low coming in at 40,559. Okay, and let's see. ASR, we'll go ahead and open up ASR here now that the market is opened. So we have 40,000. So we have ASR high at 40,892. Okay, 40,892 is ASR high. And last but not least, ASR low at 40,349. Okay, so those are, well, I'm going to add, say, point of control. Okay, so point of control coming in at 40,638. 40,000 POC, 40,638. And then settlement is coming in at 40,683. 683. Point of control was 635. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what I'm, these are the levels for the Dow. I think right now, again, I'm going to be patient and wait for this initial balance range, new all-time highs for the gold. Okay. Yeah. So if we're getting new all-time highs for the gold, chances are we may get a reaction. I say may, okay. We may get a bit of a sell-off in the equities. That's generally how they operate, but that's no guarantee. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see how this initial balance range develops. Looks like an inverse cup and handle formation. Inverse cup and handle. I'm not seeing that, Amit, but you may use the famous extension lines for the Niels. Are you talking in a bearish trade for the Dow? Is that what you're? Oh, gold. Okay. Let's take a peek. If we go up. Okay. So let's take a peek here. Now that you've kind of caught my interest. See what that's in store here. So let's open this up here. So yeah, we have a relatively strong range here. So I had kind of identified maybe that we could get a pullback and that could lead to higher prices. That pullback never happened. If we take what Niels is suggesting that I do and take this current swing, okay, up here and just draw it to this current retracement. Well, I think I had forecasted before in the review of the daily that 2600 was very much in the cards. Okay, so if this channel is indeed the channel that we're looking for here, then any sort of break in channel and break of initial balance could at least lead to 2552. Okay, 52.8 using Fibonacci's. Okay, all right. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much what I have. Okay. Don't be afraid to hit the like and subscribe button if the content that I'm providing resonates and supports your trading. don't be afraid to comment along those kind of lines in on the various areas that I make this content available. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to wish you a solid session. Let's make this a capital preservation day, guys. Okay. Let's not, if you are well into profits, don't give those back. Okay. At the end of the week. All right. Let's preserve that capital. All right. Friday is not the day to be aggressive. All right. Friday is a day to be opportunistic, right? And take what the market gives you and leave it at that. Okay. So we'll close the session. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader, guys. So no group coaching this afternoon. I will be in the coaches room here in a bit. And yeah, trade well, trade safe again, guys, and have an excellent trading day. Talk soon.